What are you doing?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what's going on.
Hi there, Virgo. This is your weekly forecast for the week of November 23rd. I apologize for the confusion in which channel these videos are going to be uploaded to. The first channel, if you haven't noticed already, Rita Yanez at YouTube. That's the one that the 700 plus videos are missing from. It's not a Google error. It's not a YouTube glitch. It has nothing to do with any Google products or services. In fact, theirs is the finest set of technical support and developers that you'll ever meet. They've been really great to me. This was an additional tool that had nothing to do with this platform, and it had everything to do with an opportunity that fell into my lap, literally, to use a product and to observe some services and see what kind of promises people make when they're trying to dupe the creators like you and I, especially you young folks. I'll make sure that next year you find out what all of the details are, what the results of the reviews were, so that you can make informed and better decisions about where you take your YouTube creator career. So Virgo, with that said, we start off Monday with the Strength card. The Strength card is talking about a need to be mindful and remember that what you need to do at this time will not require brute force. It won't require muscle. It doesn't require having to fight your way through a situation. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever this week's full moon in Gemini, which is your solar 10th house, whatever it is that's there for you to make sense of or see come to culmination, does not require you having to work really hard at it, fight through it, or push your way through it. On Tuesday, the moon card is a card that talks about not only just the issue of the full moon coming up here that gives an operative effect of about 2 weeks, but this is a card that indicates that everything has a cycle and a season all on its own. You don't have to really worry too much about it. For you guys, specifically the teens, the younger people, this is a card that indicates that even if you don't know exactly what's going on, everything in nature is cyclical, and that everything has its own cycle of beginnings, challenges, triumphs. Then something comes to culmination, whether it is successful or whether or not it fails miserably. It really is just kind of part of a pattern that we see. You know, it's almost like each time that you tried to learn how to ride a bike, if you were being taught how to ride a bike, you remember you started with training wheels and then you moved up to a bigger bike, and then they'd loosen the training wheels a little bit just to see how you do. I've heard of people even raising them, loosening them on one side particularly so that the kid is off balance. I don't like the idea, but the whole principle of it is that somebody holds you and, you know, runs after you. I remember that's the way we did it in LA. So somebody runs after you holding on to the back of the bike, and then when they think you've got it, they let go. Except the crazy thing is nobody wore helmets back then, so there were a lot of brain injuries. But considering that it's a cycle, even if you did fall down, even if you scraped your knee, you'd have to get right back on there and try it again when you're healed up or feeling, you know, that you've got the courage. So even if you're not sure of what the result is, this is a card that indicates that in the same way there's a cycle of learning, sometimes challenges, sometimes defeat, but we try again until we succeed. That's what this card talks about. So even if you feel like you don't know exactly what you're going to do with your life, where you're going with it in your life, don't worry about it too much, because those things will occur to you naturally and organically over time. Like I've got a 17-year-old who's going to college this next year, 2016. And he's kind of worried because he brings up different points about things and then will inevitably say, I thought I knew what I wanted to do. And now I decide, I don't know if I'm going into law. I don't know if I'm going into this. I don't know if I'm going into politics. And then I have to say, of course, because nobody really knows what they're going to do until they figure out at times even what it is that they don't want to do. So if you're feeling that way, that you're moving forward, but you don't really know what it is that you're going to do next, just enjoy the process, enjoy the ride as it were. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to know exactly what it is you're supposed to do. You know that chores are easy to define, right? Your mother, father, guardian, whoever might say that your job is to clean the kitty litter every day. Then maybe your job is to let the dogs out, feed the animals, do one thing or another. Those are easy to define, but life and life purpose, your path, is something that will just kind of present itself with choices like forks in the road as you go along, Virgo. So enjoy the process. Wednesday with the full moon in Gemini, we have the Ace of Swords upright. The Ace of Swords is a card that talks about a new beginning, especially as it relates to communications, making a point, demonstrating something you believe in. Now, for you guys, of course, it's not going to be as complex this holiday season as it is for the adults, which really Virgo natives are not going to have a hard time as long as they've been realistic about what the environment is, their relationships, their job, what their personal goals are, what it is that they want to do with themselves, what is it that they feel they can give, and what should they expect in return. For you guys, it's going to be more about that same brilliant process of figuring out who you are, what you believe in, what your opinions are. And even though at Thanksgiving at a dinner table, it's not really appropriate to give your opinion because you know what? People go crazy. Adults forget that you're forming opinions, and yet at the same time as you're learning how to form them, you're learning as you grow into your own thinking. So I would say avoid the drama this holiday week with Thanksgiving and everything if your family celebrates this or any kind of family reunions, and just keep it to yourself because it's not worth having problems with people just because you decided that maybe in your political beliefs that you feel like you're a liberal and they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, at that point, they're going to say things like, you're just a kid. How would you know? And you're thinking to yourself, because I'm watching you guys not know what to do. But just remember, this isn't probably the appropriate forum, although you may have blogs and you may have other places where you express yourself. And remember, if you post something on your Facebook page and somebody comes and bitches at you about it or fights with you, remember that that's your turf. They don't have to comment on your things. And in fact, you might have to start off like I do on some posts if I think that they're all provocative or if they're going to evoke a response from people that typically I know are going to get like stupid and redneck, then I will say things like, this is not a topic that's open for discussion or debate. These are my desires to post my expressions of my thoughts on my page. This is my house, just like I don't go to your house and argue with you about what you believe or what art you have on the wall. Not everybody understands that, but the more you demonstrate it over time, they'll know that you really don't want to be argued with. You're forming your own opinions. Just remember, adults, they don't always give you guys credit, and that's why people like me made a vow to never forget what it's like to be people like you. Thursday, we have the King of Cups, and this is a person who's most likely, especially this week, represents an authority figure in your life. Now, this could be an older sibling, cousin, brother, stepbrother, sister. Now, of course, this is male energy, so it could be a very masculine female, but it could also be a parent, guardian, and somebody actually in a position of authority. The good thing, though, is that this person is kindly disposed towards you, as this is the natural healer and or psychologist of the zodiac. This is a great shoulder to cry on, somebody to talk to when you just need to vent. So this individual could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and this could be a person who just demonstrates those type of traits that you associate with the water signs. Very sensitive, very fluid, very emotional, hard on the sleeve. And so if you do need to talk to somebody or somebody starts to pick on you, I would be pretty safe to say that this person is going to come to your defense, whether he does it in front of you or behind the scenes. It doesn't matter. This person will look out for you. On Friday, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is a card that indicates that all is well in your environment, that you're feeling at peace about it. You probably are doing a really great job this week of not getting into arguments with people about why they won't let you have a choice as to which family you want to spend Thanksgiving with. These kind of things that in time, I promise you in the future, you'll be able to make those decisions on your own and even to experiment with how you want to live your life, how you want to make it happen. Maybe you come from a family of total dysfunctional people and you say to yourself, nothing doing. I want to have a family that is normal, or at least civilized. And so watching all of the dysfunction while you observe it, like the analyst that you are, you're looking around saying, I'm not going to be a mother like that. Hell no, I'm not going to be the grandmother who's angry, throwing things around. I'm going to be sweet. We're going to have good times. We're going to play games together. We're not going to have alcohol that feeds dysfunction whenever it walks through the door. We're just going to have a lovely time. So remember, it's all good because it looks like you're feeling good as a result. On Saturday, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So be kind of careful, you single folks. If there's somebody who's kind of coming at you with a proposal, or they want to go out with you, they want to go steady, whether you can or can't is beside the point, of course, because I don't know your individual situation at home. But maybe this is a person who is bringing friendship to you. But I'll tell you something, whenever the Knight of Cups is in the reverse, and with you guys, it is going to indicate more likely a love interest or a friendship. This person is not being honest, or they've got ulterior motives. If you know what I mean, there's something they want from you. And maybe you don't want to have anything to do with this because you're thinking to yourself logically, hey, look, if this person's out to just get him somewhere, I am not that thing that you use for your own purpose. I am a human. I respect myself. I don't want this drama. You don't even have to tell this person that. Just keep in mind that this would not be a good time to make commitments to people who come to you for especially romantic relationships, or if they're trying to offer you to go steady or something. Remember that this is not the best time to do it. Any relationship that's worth having is worth working through and exploring, investigating, and enjoying that person, so that as you're getting to know each other to be friends, if something changes and there's more to it down the line, then you can proceed in whatever way you usually do. And also then if you realize that there's just not a compatibility, or that you guys don't want the same things in a relationship, if any, well, hey, that's no big deal, because then you still have your friendship intact. So just remember that if everybody starts off as friends, most of the time we're going to end up with friends. It doesn't always work out that way, but it doesn't mean that we don't give it a try to see what it does. Sunday, we've got the Two of Cups. That's an excellent sign. So it seems like you make a really good decision about the personal relationship or friendship, and that you realize, hey, look, we can get to know each other. I'm feeling just a little insecure. Maybe for you, that Knight of Cups in reverse is talking about an insecurity, or talking about your inability to trust fully, which isn't a bad thing. That's given to you as part of the creature, the organic thing that you are. We're just, even though we're humans, we're just like every other animal that has instincts, that has suspicions, that knows when they're being hunted, or is afraid of becoming prey to a hunter. So maybe this is just the way that you're feeling, and that person is just fine, but you're not sure whether or not you can trust that person. You don't have to trust them overnight. Trust is something that's earned. Trust is something that doesn't just show up in an envelope in the mail from Amazon. So just remember that it's going to be good. Everything will work out fine. My best advice, most importantly, this week, is to make sure that you don't get involved in any discussions where some adult literally asks you your opinion on something and you're like, I shouldn't even be giving an opinion. This doesn't feel safe. Plead the fifth in a way by saying, I've got really bad cramps. I'm on my period. I can't think. Or you say, hey, look, I've got explosive diarrhea. I got to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes. You'll get out of there as soon as possible. But if somebody really presses you for your opinion, or to pick a side in some kind of family drama, don't do it, and just say, you know what? It just occurs to me that I'm only 15 years old and I really haven't formed an opinion yet, because I'm still trying to figure out how to blow bubbles with soap.